local.com. And by Ford. Visit local.ford.com or your local Northland Ford dealer today. Welcome back to Washington, D.C. It is a gorgeous Tuesday night for baseball. Game 1, Twins and the Nationals coming up from Nationals Ballpark as Taj Bradley has the ball for the Twins. Let's go back to Sunday. Joe Ryan, it did not last too long. And Derek Shelton acknowledging that, hey, it looked terrible that Ryan only faced 2 batters that had come out. But good news is that we learned from Derek Shelton tonight that Joe Ryan is okay and will throw a bullpen tomorrow. And if that goes well, is projecting to start this weekend in Cleveland. And with that, we welcome you to the booth, everybody, alongside Denard Span. I'm Corey Provis, so certainly good news for Joe Ryan. You thought the worst when you saw that on Sunday, but really, all in all, good news tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Whenever you see a guy come out of the game that early and then pointing towards his elbow, you definitely are not optimistic about it. But, I got a chance to talk to him before the game started, and he was just saying that he learned from a couple other injuries where he pushed through it, and this time he did not want to do that. So he was very proactive and came out of the game, and we're very obviously thankful for that.
Certainly good news for Joe Ryan and all involved, and hopefully that bullpen goes well here tomorrow. Staying with starting pitching, Taj Bradley has the ball for the Twins, and he was great again his last time out against Seattle.
Yes, he was. 4 of his 7 starts this season have been quality. Aside from that hiccup in Tampa Bay, he has been flawless, and it's good to see him in his first full season with the Twins having success, working really well with Pete Mackey, and, obviously his pitch arsenal, his pitch mix, that 4-seam fastball, and all of the secondary stuff has been very effective as well.
Yeah, through a career on 114 pitches in his last start, so for him, this extra day certainly will come in handy here tonight. As for Washington, the Nationals are 16-19, but they have some youth and some talent up and down this lineup, including the guy that bats leadoff in James Wood.
Yeah, this guy is exceptional, just unbelievable athlete, 6'6", can hit with power, he has speed, and his approach at the plate, that's what stands out to me, the way he's able to go to the opposite field. He has 11 home runs this year. Four of them are to the opposite field, and with that approach, it allows for him to back that ball up and see it deeper. But also he has elite hand speed, and so he's able to still generate a ton of power.
We'll see Wood bat leadoff tonight for the Nationals, and Byron Buxton per usual for the Twins as we're getting ready for Game 1 here in D.C. We'll take a break, come back, look at the top plays in our sport from last week when we continue on Twins TV. Trucks, nothing stops Ram. Beautiful day here in Washington, closing in on first pitch. Twins and the Nationals coming up. But before we start a new week for Twins baseball, let's go and look back at the best plays we saw in our game from last week. That's our MLB Top 5.
And you got Matt Olson, who has 8 homers and 26 driven in already this year at the plate. Matt Olson drills it towards the gap. Tonight, a walk-off winner.
Rolling thunder out of the ballpark, and the Braves win it as Matt Olson just swung the hammer at that Jansen pitch, and he drills it out of the ballpark.
That'll bring in Juan Soto. Soto has been right on it this series.
And high and deep to right. Wood back on the track, short of the wall, elevates and brings it back. Look at the smile. He's had ones where he's barely had to leave the earth to bring one back. That one, it took all 6'6".
Oh, he timed this one up perfect. He knew exactly, and that is all vert. Look at the catch, especially right there at the notch. Incredible.
Ranger Suarez hit 1-2 record, 4 ERA, and 2 outstanding outings before that last one.
Swing and a miss. Name of the game tonight for Suarez is strikeouts.
Suarez silences the crowd.
What a performance so far for Ranger Suarez.
He has not given the Blue Jays hitters a lot to hit, and clearly all very different looks coming out of his hand.
And Ranger Suarez, who has just been spectacular tonight. He's had 6 innings tonight, 6 out of the 7. He's only faced 3 batters.
Exclamation point for Ranger. He was utterly dominant, 10 strikeouts.
There goes the runner, and it's lined to left field. Davis Schneider back, dives, he caught it! Holy smokes, what a catch by Davis Schneider in left field.
What a play by Davis Schneider, sprawling out to the warning track to keep that one from hitting the dirt and keeping a run off the board. Davis Schneider makes one of the great defensive plays of his career, a diving backhanded catch.
Grissom pokes one down the right field line, and Bench dives and makes a fantastic catch. Oh, wow! Carson Bench with a pulchritudinous play, and there are 2 men down in the ninth.
I'm not going to say it was pulchritudinous, but I'm going to take your word for it. That was an amazing play. That's as good a play as you're going to see anywhere in baseball.
It is Byron Buxton and the Twins coming up. Game 1 in Washington, D.C. Twins and the Nationals, and James Wood will battle leadoff when we come back. Twins baseball next. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by your local Toyota dealers and by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive. Twins are back at Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C. The Twins are 3-6 all time at this venue. And how about this weather? Denard Span joined us from Florida and brought some Florida-like weather with us here up I-95, 80 degrees here. And partly cloudy. Derek Shelton and the Twins so far 1-5 against the National League. Reds and Mets, and now the Nationals. And hopefully the Twins can win their 16th game of the season here tonight in Game 1 of this 3-game Interleague Series. We take a look at the Twins batting order brought to you by Menards. Byron Buxton, as Audra mentioned a moment ago, the American League Player of the Week. 3rd time he's won that honor, deservedly so. 5 homers, 9 runs scored the last week. Trevor Larnach, Ryan Jeffers, and former National Josh Bell round out the top 4 with Martin, Clemens, Keyshaw, Lee, and Lewis for the Twins. And the Twins 10th in baseball, averaging around 4.7 runs per game. And that group will see right-hander Cade Cavalli on the mound tonight. Denard for the Nationals.
Yep, Cade Cavalli making his 8th start of the season for the Washington Nationals. You see his season numbers. The number that stands out to me is his whip, 1.66, and he has been giving up a lot of walks, a lot of base hits. Opponents are hitting 298 on the season. He's only given up 1 home run, but also, too, he's been tough on right-handed hitters. The Twins have 5 tonight, but I think essentially it's going to be about the Twins waiting him out and seeing which version of Cade Cavalli they get tonight.
Cavalli back-to-back 10 strikeout games. Byron Buxton leads off, has 1 leadoff homer already this year, and the opening pitch is a swinging strike at 96. And with that, we're underway from our nation's capital. 10 home runs for Byron so far, 32 games in. Popped up on the infield, and C.J. Abrams, talented shortstop, makes the play for the Nationals. And 1 away here in the Twins' first inning. Let's take a look at the Nationals defensively here tonight. James Wood played left last year, now playing right. Dalen Lyle, he played right, now playing left. Jacob Young can cover a ton of ground in center field. Abrams, Nunez can fly. Meade at first base for the injured Luis Garcia Jr. and Keibert Ruiz behind the plate for Washington here for Game 1. So 1 away for Trevor Larnach as he chops it to the right side near first base, played by Meade. And quickly 2 down in the Twins' first inning before Ryan Jeffers bats. Let's take a look, Denard, at tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Toyota.
Yes, Toyota keys to tonight's ball game. It's going to be about getting to the bullpen of the Washington Nationals. They have struggled. The starters have pitched relatively well, but if the Twins can find a way to chase Cavalli, that'll be great for them and increase their chances of getting a W tonight.
Had to be take mode right there for Jeffers. 3 pitches and 2 outs right away tonight.
No question. Buxton and Larnach both being aggressive. It's actually surprised. Larnach normally goes up there, and we'll see a 4 to 5 pitches, especially after Buxton. But yeah, Jeffers having to be a little bit more selective, not wanting to get out of this inning with 4 or 5 pitches from Cavalli.
There's 98 from Cavalli. The Nationals opening day starter, and we can bring the velo as we see right here.
Yeah, that's just cheese, easy cheese from Cavalli. Gets that fastball up 96 to 98 mile an hour.
No swing, says Carlos Torres at first base. Mark Wegner behind the plate. He is the crew chief for tonight's quartet. And this was not called a swing.
Nice check from Jeffers.
The 2-1. Hit hard to third. Diving stop made by Bibas, and he skips it across in time for out number 3. The Nationals have committed more errors than any other team in baseball, but Jorge Bibas with a good play. Nationals coming up, and Washington is led by a new manager this season. Blake Butera was named the Washington manager in October, just 33 years old, the youngest manager in the game since the Twins hired the late great Frank Quilisi back in 1972. And the Ford Washington batting order, which is averaging over 5 runs per game, 6th most in baseball. Wood, Lyle, and Meade at the top. The C.J. Abrams, he's been hot. Young Vivas, Nasim Nunez can fly. Jose Tena, K-Beard, Ruiz round out the 9 for the Nationals, and Taj Bradley's on the mound tonight for the Twins. And he will face a challenging hitter right away tonight in James Wood. Plenty of power, and he swings and misses at a cutter. 0-1 count as we take a closer look at Taj. His numbers are brought to you by CarShield.
Yeah, Taj is definitely going to have to be very careful with James Wood, among the league leaders in a lot of offensive categories. But, you know, Taj doing a good job getting back on the right track, especially after that Tampa Bay start, Seattle 7 innings pitch. Only gave up 2 earned runs. And the thing that Taj has going for him, he has the ability to be effective in and out of the strike zone. That curveball, which we just saw all that depth, has had a lot of success. He's only thrown at 11%, so we'll see if today he's able to use it a little bit more. But yeah, look at the depth on this pitch. I'm gonna take a line from Morney. That's just strike to ball for a long time, and just that's how you get James Wood out. You got to get him reaching for that off-speed pitch and those breaking balls.
Since you took it from Morney and it's a line, it's a line change.
Yeah.
Let's bring back his hockey ties as well. Dalen Lyle in left field here tonight, batting second for the Nationals. And Bradley with the fastball at 97. Behind now, 2 balls and no strikes. Lyle was a second-round pick in 2021. Has 3 home runs so far this season. Now 3-0.
Tell you what, Dalen Lyle burst onto the scene in the second half of last year and really provided a spark for this ball club. A young ball player, has a ton of ability.
And Lyle will take his time out here. A year ago, Lyle, he led all major league rookies with 11 triples. Also led National League rookies in average and slug. And takes high ball 4. So a 1-out walk puts Lyle on base. And a scoreless first inning, and Curtis Meade is coming up for the Nationals. Let's take a look at how the Twins look defensively behind Bradley here tonight. Larnach, Buxton, and Martin in the outfield. Royce Lewis at third base. Lee, Keyshaw, Clemens, and Ryan Jeffers is behind the plate. It'll be a challenge for Jeffers, Caratini, and the Twins starters, even the bullpen guys, to slow down this Washington run game. As Audra mentioned at the top, the Nationals, by sprint speed, are the fastest team in baseball.
Yeah, no question. This pitching staff for the Twins over the next 3 days are going to have to try to do a good job at mixing up their looks, switching.
Curtis Meade lines it to left field. Larnach back. It's over his head and off the wall, then bangs off his chest. Lyle to third base. He'll be held on a double from Curtis Meade. And the Nationals are threatening right away here in the opening inning tonight. Sixth double this season for Meade, the Aussie who was with Team Australia in the WBC back in March.
Yeah, you see Curtis Meade wasting no time and putting pressure on Taj, looking for that split finger, and that just was a pitch that was left up, not the best executed pitch from Taj.
Infield in, C.J. Abrams, all-star back in 2024, is chasing a bit more this season. Still low strikeout rate, high walk rate.
This would be a good situation to see if Taj Bradley can get C.J. Abrams to chase and get a strikeout. That would be huge, especially with one out, second and third situation here.
Abrams hot last 6 games, hitting over 420. So the infield in, Lyle at third, Meade at second. 0-2 from Bradley. Good idea. Spike that breaking ball. That's the one that James Wood went after.
Yeah, that's the pitch for me with Taj. He only throws it 10 to 11%, but he's been really effective, getting a lot of swing and miss with it. I think he has the most strikeouts with that pitch. So you got to wonder once again as the season goes along, and with him having such a good feel for it, will he increase that? Increase the usage of that pitch, and we've seen him with 2 strikes, bury that ball, bury that pitch. Early in counts, he'll try to steal a strike, but that last one to Abrams and that one to James Wood definitely was a strikeout, put away type pitch.
See, Abrams has been excellent in situations like this. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. The 1-2 from Bradley. 99, but down and in. Abrams among the package players that came to Washington from San Diego in the Juan Soto trade back in 2022. Broken bat to the right side. Keyshaw comes home. The tag is going to be late. And Lyle's speed in play. Contact play was on. And the Twins took a chance with the infield in. Lyle is safe. He scores. Everybody's on. And it's 1-0 Washington.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness from Luke Keyshaw. Already infield in. And that ball just was hit very softly. And you see the throw. Ryan Jeffers had to catch that ball and reach over and reach for the tag. But Dalen Lyle really getting a good jump on that ball. Was playing contact, going on contact, and just a tough play. I think the only chance he would have had is if that throw from Luke Keyshaw was up the line.
28th RBI for Abrams as Lyle scores. Meade to third, and now here's Jacob Young. Young, a 7th-round pick in 2021. Striking out more so far this season, walking less. Twins infield back at double play depth, but now the running game comes into play here. Abrams, he can fly. He has 6 stolen bases.
Yeah, Taj Bradley definitely got to keep an eye on C.J. Abrams. You want to try to keep him at first base, but you also want to focus on the hitter in Jacob Young and hopefully try to get a ground ball double play here if possible.
Runner stay, and the pitch is lined to right down the line, but slicing foul. Let's take a look at our Jeep standings, and we focus in on the most steals so far this season. Washington 33 overall. That is currently 5th most in baseball. Milwaukee, Yankees, Marlins, and the Rays.
Yeah, that's what the Nationals do. They have a young ball club, a lot of youth on their side, and really good athletes. And they're just, going out there trying to manufacture runs and put pressure on defenses similar to Milwaukee. We talk about them all the time, as well as another team that the Twins just saw last week in Tampa.
Was a strike on the outside corner. So 1-2 on Young. Abrams stays in the pitch, fouled back on a cutter. 20 pitches so far for Bradley. 1 in, 2 on, just 1 out. Taj coming off a career high 114 pitches thrown. Did get the extra day with the off day yesterday. Nationals 16 wins this season, but only 4 at home. 4-12 is the home record for the Nationals. As you take a look at Taj's pitching line from Wednesday against Seattle.
And he still looks strong after those 114 pitches.
Curveball strikes out Young, so both strikeouts so far tonight. D-Span coming with his breaking ball.
Yes, and once again, just perfect location and perfect time to use it. I think he's having a hard time putting away Jacob Young with the cutter as well as the split finger. And yeah, I think once again, as the season progresses, me personally, I think that's going to be a huge pitch, you know, with Taj just continuing to use it in those types of situations.
Sure beat Vivas. He swings the bat often, makes a lot of contact. Early swing as well, not in play here, in a strike on Vivas at 99 miles an hour.
I was about to say, yeah, 99. You see Taj gearing it up, trying to get himself out of this inning. Senses he's only one out, maybe one pitch away from getting out of a challenging situation.
You surprised Abrams hasn't tried to run yet, or do you like what Taj is doing on his end?
Yeah, he's doing a good job once again at switching up his looks, and I think he's throwing a few slide steps. But yeah, I thought he was definitely going to try to take off with Jacob Young, but right now, if you're Taj, you just focus on the hitter.
A delayed steal there from Abrams, and Jeffers with a pump fake was not going to fire. 7th stolen base from Abrams, and now it's 1-2 on Bibas.
I think we might have jinxed him there. Jinxed the situation.
I'm with you. I thought he was going to run during the Young at bat because he stayed on the double play.
Yeah. But you see him, yeah, be aggressive. Really good time for delayed steal. I don't think anybody was expecting that, and caught the Twins napping a little bit.
In the dirt, nice block by Jeffers, run off the chest pad. So a big spot early tonight. The Nationals have one in, and now 2 on, both in scoring position. And Bradley about to throw his 27th pitch of the inning to Jorbit Bibas. To the right side, here's Clemens with the pick. He'll take it to the bag, and the inning is over. So Bradley able to limit the damage. The Nationals strike for 1.
Powered by you.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. Josh Bell, nice hand as he was introduced here a moment ago. Former National, 2021, part of 2022, and a member of the Nationals last year. Hit 22 home runs with the Nationals a season ago.
He said he loves hitting here. We were talking a little bit in the batting cage, and he was telling me that this field is kind of a under the radar hitter friendly ballpark. He doesn't get his
pops it up into shallow left, and Lyle called off by Young. 1 away. You're not kidding. He's got 216 games here, 31 home runs. And there is a look at Cade Cavalli. By the way, was a first-round pick out of Oklahoma, and he was teammates in college with that guy right there, Bloomington's own Jake Irvin, who will face his hometown team on Thursday. Chatting with Jake about that in the clubhouse before the game tonight. I did not know another teammate currently with Minnesota ties as Martin sends one to the gap in right center, but James Wood is there, and there are quickly 2 down. I'm also on that same Oklahoma baseball team, now playing quarterback for the Vikings, Kyler Murray.
Oh.
Was playing center field for the Sooners.
Nice. You almost forgot about Kyler Murray being a baseball player and getting drafted by the A's. And yeah, I mean, he's obviously doing pretty well for himself in the NFL. But
yeah, I think it worked out, right?
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Well, we go from the Sooners to the Longhorns, and Cody Clemens. 3 homers and 9 knocked in. And Cavalli hits him. And Hook'em Horns will take his base. And the first base runner for the Twins here tonight comes with 2 down, with the Twins down 1 here in the second.
That's the thing about Cade Cavalli. 1 inning, he could look like one of the better pitchers in all of baseball, and then all of a sudden, the snap of a finger, he can lose control and do what we just saw right there, hitting Cody Clemens. So I think, once again, that's going to be a key to this ball game. The Twins, just waiting him out.
He's hit 5 batters so far this season. Now Luke Keyshaw. Some good signs from Keyshaw on the homestand. Saw more line drives out of Keyshaw. A really good game on Sunday in the win at home against Toronto.
Yeah, I know that was very encouraging for him to get those 2 doubles and come up in big spots just to build his confidence. He's had a rough start to the season, but I don't think Shelty or anybody is losing confidence in him. Such a huge part to this offense and to this ball club.
Down, no balls and 2 strikes.
That's the thing as a young ball player. Luke came up last year and had some success, and the league after that begins to make adjustments, and so I think now what's going to determine his success is can he adjust as the league adjusts.
Clemens stays, and Keyshaw taps it to third down the line. That's going to be just fine. Infield hit for Keyshaw.
It's a knock.
Moves Clemens down to second.
I mean, that's good baseball right there. Putting the ball in play, 0-2 count, 2 strikes. Maybe shorten it up a little bit, and what you do there is you give yourself an opportunity and a chance to get on base and keep this inning going, and that's what happens when your approach at the plate begins to change. You saw those big doubles last series, last game, but you begin to get rewarded in those types of situations and counts.
Brooks Lee hitting .333 over his last 11 games to the right field corner, and fair. Cody Clemens will score. Keyshaw rounding third. He will head home. The relay not made. It's a 2-out, 2-run double from Brooks Lee, and the Twins take a 2-1 lead.
I'm going to go back to Keyshaw and toot his horn just a little bit more, finding a way in an 0-2 count to keep this inning going and getting Brooks Lee up. And you see this fastball at 98. We see Brooks Lee doing a good job keeping his hands inside that baseball. But if you're the Twins, that's the pitch that you're looking to attack against Cade Cavalli. Hitters around the league have been attacking that fastball at a high clip, and good base running from Luke Keyshaw, hustling around the bases.
So 3 straight have reached, and the Twins have the lead, and we'll see if Royce Lewis can add to it. Third double for Lee. RBIs 19 and 20. Now Royce sitting on 49 career home runs. And also Lewis entering play tonight, currently sitting at 999 major league at bats. So he's had over 1,000 plate appearances, but 999 lifetime at bats for Royce entering this at bat right now.
I think that's a big achievement for somebody, who, like Royce, has had a lot of injuries, and we know he's worked extremely hard to, get himself back to being able to be available for the ball club. And, we know he also is still probably, trying to work himself back and get used to, playing every day. But yeah, that's a huge accomplishment for Royce. Hopefully we see 3 more 1,000 games from him.
He's 0 for his last 11. And the batting average down to 176. Just 2 hits on the homestand. Now 3-1.
That's the thing about Royce. I think he's one of those hitters that can, in the snap of a finger, things can turn around for him. He's always been a streaky hitter, and even like a take like that one on that last breaking ball.
Good count. This one grounded back to the mound. A little juggle there, and Cavalli in time found the grip and made the play to end the inning. But a high five and a hug. Borrego to Lee, and for good reason. Turning on a first pitch fastball, found the right field corner, drove in a pair. Keyshaw, Clemens scoring. 2-1 Twins early.
Now through May 6th at the Home Depot.
Brooks Lee, a 2-out, 2-run double, and the Twins have a 2-1 lead, bottom 2. And Taj Bradley, after a 27-pitch first, will see the lower third of the order for the Nationals, and Nasim Nunez, among the faster players in the game, will lead off the second for the Nationals. Was a Rule 5 pick from Miami a couple of years ago. Had a good game on Sunday in a win here against Milwaukee. The Nationals dropped that series but did win on Sunday over the Brewers.
Yeah, this is the guy that you do not want on base to start the inning. 14 stolen bases. Just creates a lot of havoc. Doing a good job at scoring a lot of runs as well. You see that sprint speed. An exceptional defender as well at second base.
27 is average, by the way, to put that into some context. And those 5 guys elite. Now 2-2 on Nunez.
Ooh.
97. And just missed.
Taj changing eye level. Might be a good time for a curveball.
Well, those guys behind the plate, that front row behind the net, yeah, it's like we got this net, but still, here comes 97 right at my noggin. I'm going to move a little bit.
It's a good trust exercise.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate trust fall, right? I mean, coming at you. Okay, guys. Five four-seam fastballs.
Yeah, I think Taj is committed to trying to get Nasim Nunez out with that four-seam fastball. See what he goes to here. Yep.
I honestly, to your point earlier, you don't want to walk him. So you're trying to think, okay, what pitch can I throw that's going to be over the plate for a guy that, yes, makes contact, doesn't have a ton of power.
I wonder if he's wondering if he throws something off speed, he might be doing him a favor.
He did. Yeah, tried the cutter, and Bradley loses him. So 14 stolen bases for Nunez. That leads the game. And the leadoff man is out for the first time tonight.
I mean, you got to give Nunez credit. That was a hard-fought at bat. Taj attacked him essentially with fastballs, and he fouled off some tough pitches. And now Taj and Ryan Jeffers have to deal with Nasim Nunez on the bases.
Jose Tena steps in, and Bradley pumps in 96 for strike one. Tena from the Dominican, high strikeout rate, low walk rate. Check swing and no swing. And it was high, so now 1-1 on Tena. Our progressive wire cam from Nationals Park, and a lovely night. Nunez at first base, nobody out as Bradley throws over for the first time. Bradley 2 strikeouts and 2 walks so far tonight. Runner goes and stops, and Jeffers will throw to second anyway, as he saw the break from Nunez, went back to first, and Jeffers, he threw down anyway.
Yeah, I think that was Nunez realizing that even though he tried to break for second and steal, he realized that he was not going to have a good jump. Taj was essentially faster than what he thought, and that's really good base running with him shutting it down.
Line to center field. Buxton coming on, won't get it. That's a base hit for Tena. So hitters 7 and 8 are on, and we'll see how the Nationals will play it with Keibert Ruiz coming up, hitting just 194 so far this season.
Yep, Tanner just doing a good job at staying through that ball. Went down and got it.
Royce a few steps in off the line at third. Ruiz switch hitting catcher. Cutter for strike one.
It didn't look like he was thinking about bunting. Got to imagine, I mean, even though he's a 9-hole hitter as a catcher, if he's able to handle the bat and get a bunt down. But this is obviously a perfect situation for him to do that, get both of those guys into scoring position.
Ruiz back here in 2026 after appearing in only 68 games last year, dealt with not one but 2 concussions a season ago. The 0-2 is a foul ball. So far this season, Washington is not getting much in terms of offense from their catching tandem. Dead last in OPS from the catching position in the game for Blake Butera's Nationals. Breaking ball locked him up. So all 3 strikeouts for Bradley tonight have come with his breaking ball.
If I'm Ruiz, you know, after this game, like I'm be honest with you, I'm saying to myself, if I'm hitting in the 9-hole, I want to be able to get the bunt down. I want to at least give my manager the option for me to get that bunt down and have a productive at bat. Corey, you just mentioned, you know, their catchers are last in just about every offensive category, but I think that was a situation where, you know, I don't know if he's able to get that bunt down, and so Blake Butera having no other option but to have him swing away, and now, you know, he gets to strike out. But yeah, good pitch from Taj, obviously getting him out.
It's the 5th pitch that Wood has seen against Bradley tonight, and the first one that was not a strike. Two on, 1 out, and the 1-1 to Wood. In the air to left field. Larnach back, still going. Larnach will jump up, makes the catch. Throw comes back into Lee in left field. So Larnach kind of looking back, making a new friend there in the front row. Maybe jumped a little bit shy of that paddock, but made the play for out number 2.
Yeah, that ball had some backspin to it. We know James Wood, we talked about in the open, with his opposite field power. And you see Trevor Larnach, you wonder if some of those fans in the top row or the first row was maybe telling him, you know, that the ball was gone or messing with him. But either way, yeah, Trevor Larnach doing a good job of getting back on that ball and making the play.
Good splitter there from Bradley. A strike on Dalen Lyle, who walked and scored back in the first. Nationals 0 for 5 so far tonight, batting with runners in scoring position. It was 99.
I think once again, yeah, when Taj senses, you know, it's an opportunity or it's a big pitch, an opportunity for him to get out of an inning, you see him ramp it up, and to me, that's what all the elite pitchers do. I can remember Felix Hernandez. He was a different pitcher with guys in scoring position than when, you know, nobody was on base. He had that ability to kick it up into another gear. And
no swing.
I think you can throw Taj in that same category.
So a splitter down. Did not go, says Bruce Streckman at third base. What about a letter high, shoulder high fastball right now?
Yeah, if it's in the right location.
Off speed, it's a cutter, and Lyle strikes out looking. So the first 2 reached here against Taj in the second, but a strikeout of Ruiz. Wood flied out, and Lyle strikes out looking.
Get your tickets at twins.com. In case you missed the good news earlier in our broadcast, MRI results came back clean for Joe Ryan after leaving Sunday's game in the first inning. He was actually back on the field today playing catch and was very relieved that everything felt normal. Now, with the clean MRI, there's still no real clarity on what caused that discomfort, so they'll keep an eye on everything and consider things day to day right now. But if he still feels okay tomorrow, he will make his bullpen as scheduled. Now, Joe says he's always grateful for every day he gets to put on a big league jersey, and he tries not to take anything for granted, but admits that a scare like that makes you feel all of that a bit more. So very appreciative Joe Ryan in the clubhouse earlier today, guys. That must have been a great game of catch.
No doubt about that. And yeah, throw that bullpen here tomorrow. That would line up Joe to pitch Saturday in Cleveland as Buxton strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Cavalli here tonight, with the Twins lining up Ober tomorrow, then Simeon Woods Richardson Thursday, Connor Prelup Friday, and then Ryan would go on Saturday. One away for Trevor Larnach, who grounded out back in the first inning. Larnach came in with an on-base percentage at .419. Because he's often in this count.
Yeah.
He sees a ton of pitches. He's taking walks.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, or I think it would be good if the Twins could make Cade Cavalli work a little bit more this inning. Only 27 pitches. And he's into the third inning, and he's done a good job of getting quick outs. But yeah, guys like Larnach and Austin Martin, I think it's time for them to do what they've been doing all year and having deep at bats and making these starting pitchers just sweat a little bit more.
2-1 past a diving Abrams, and Trevor Larnach has now reached base safely in 19 straight games, adding to his career high stretch. It's a one-out single here in the third.
Yeah, once again, Corey, you nailed it. Just as far as Trevor Larnach, getting himself in favorable hitters counts and, getting himself a quality pitch, a fastball out over the plate, and got around it a little bit, but was able to stay through it enough to see that ball go up the middle for a single.
That on-base streak is the fourth longest active streak in the game. The leader, Nick Kurtz, has reached base safely in 28 straight. Ian Happ 25, Ivan Herrera 21. And Larnach now 19 straight. He has reached somehow, some way. Ryan Jeffers robbed of an extra base hit by Jobert Bibas down the third base line earlier. Great numbers for Ryan Jeffers. Former second-round pick. Good average on base percentage and power so far this year.
I guess Cavalli heard about Trevor Larnach putting in work this offseason, checking over him at first base.
And Cavalli, when he's on, is a ground ball pitcher. Runner stays, and Jeffers stays alive 0-2.
Jeffers just missing that fastball 0-2 count. I thought that might have been a mistake from Cavalli.
And Justin Morneau did a great breakdown of Jeffers in his workshop on the last homestand. The two-strike approach widens the stance, chokes up a little bit. Driven out to right, and James Wood. Out number 2, Larnach back to first, and Josh Bell is coming up. Well, Bark at the Park returns to Target Field on Tuesday, May 12th. Cheer on the Twins with your furry friend and score a TC Bear doggy bag dispenser with this exclusive ticket package. Fetch your tickets like that. Fetch your tickets right now at twins.com/bark.
See what you did there. Fetch your tickets.
Yeah, it's great writing. Bark at the Park here tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bell. Grounded back to the mound. And Cavalli makes the play to end the inning.
Bradley, all 3 of his secondary pitches have been effective this season. Double-digit strikeouts from the cutter, the splitter, and the curveball so far this season. Get a ton of swing and miss from those pitches.
Could use a quick, efficient inning. 51 pitches for Taj through 2. As he runs the fastball inside and down to Curtis Mead, who doubled off the wall on the left in the first but did not score. Sharply to short, and Brooks Lee throws out Mead, and 1 away, and Abrams coming up.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
So 2 pitches and 1 quick out for Bradley so far. Here is C.J. Abrams, fielder's choice RBI in the first, and down a strike and a splitter here in the third.
That was a nasty splitter. Perfect time to throw that 0-0 count. C.J. Abrams looking to jump on a fastball, and then you come back with that pitch. C.J. Abrams right now is just tied up. That ball out of the hand for a split finger looks just like the fastball. It's only, what, 7 to 8 mile an hour slower, and just falls off the table. It's not C.J. 0-2. He doesn't know what's coming right here.
Options here for Bradley and Jeffers, and the pitch is grounded weakly right side. Keyshaw gloves and makes a low throw, dug out by Clemens. Now with Abrams and his speed, you have to grab that ball and just get it out as quickly as you can.
Yeah, Keyshaw understanding who was at the play, who put the ball in play. And not an easy play. You see him have to get around that ball and get rid of it as fast as he possibly could. Made it look routine, but definitely was not a routine play.
So 2 ground ball outs from Bradley. Now Jacob Young. Struck out swinging in the first. And that was with the Nationals leading by 1 and threatening for more. First and third, 1 out when Bradley struck out Young. Young is a very good defensive player. He's been a Gold Glove finalist each of the last 2 seasons, and his offense also improving. He's hit safely in 11 of his last 15 games. To right and routine for Austin Martin, and that's exactly what Bradley needed. An 8-pitch 1-2-3 third, and the Twins will bat in the 4th, leading by 1. We keep it here for tonight's Twins Insider. And with the Wild advancing to the second round of the playoffs, the Twins players and staff had to celebrate. For more on that, here's Audra Martin.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Minnesota sports fan with the Twins in action and the Frost, the Wild, and Timberwolves all in the postseason. But yes, yesterday the Twins showed their support for the Wild with everyone decked out in jerseys for the flight here to D.C. With that said, today I figured I would ask the players how they think their own teammates would fare out on the ice. Who on your team would be the best goaltender?
I think I'll go with Byron Buxton. Great out in center field. Go in front of the net, and he'd be really good.
I want a big body. I want someone that's athletic. Man, I'm going to go Matt Wallner. He's probably had experience on the ice, too. So that's double whammy for me.
Who would be the worst goaltender?
Oof. I'm going to go with you see Joey Casey work our analytics and video department. You know, he's about 4 foot tall, so you know, I think Joey Casey would probably be the worst.
See, I am the new guy here, so I don't want to start any bad blood. So maybe I'll go with somebody I know, Andrew Morris.
Who would be most likely to drop the gloves and get in a scrap?
Most likely to fight. Gotta look around the clubhouse. Probably Keyshaw, for sure, yeah. I feel like that guy would be, you check him the wrong way or something, he's going to stand up for his teammate or himself. So, yeah, probably him.
I got Keish. I got Keish being scrappy, he's a wrestler, stuff like that. I think he could, yeah.
I'm going to go Keishel, just he's got the wrestling background. And I'm going to go Wally.
What position you play?
I don't know anything about hockey. Right wing. Is that a position?
It is.
Perfect, right wing.
Perfect.
I'd be happy to not fall.
Well, you can imagine there was some chirping going on with these answers as well. Got to give credit to Anthony Bonda, who said I would be the worst goaltender because I just let up a 20-mile-an-hour grounder go through my legs, so don't pick me. There were a lot of really good answers, guys. I have to ask you, Corey Denard, any thoughts you'd like to add to it? Because I'm sitting here and I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah, I think the Keyshaw one, when that question came out, I think that was the first name that came to mind about, okay, it's time to go, time to scrap. I think Keyshaw was a logical pick there. I was surprised.
What about Larnach?
Goalies? Yeah, Larnach too.
Larnach,
he's calm though. He's very
But those
calm.
are the ones you have to watch out for.
You think that there's more to it there?
Yeah.
And Austin Martin is on yet again with the leadoff single out into right field. All right, so with that, we welcome you to the booth here high atop Nationals Park. So thinking about hockey here, yeah, Keyshaw made a lot of sense. I was surprised with the goalies, though, that the catchers, that didn't come up. Caratini or Jeffers, because Audra Wright, thinking about the jerseys that everybody wore yesterday, right? Jeffers and Caratini, didn't they have custom-made jerseys especially for them?
Well, they actually had Walsed and Gustafson jerseys.
Right.
Yes, so they were the unique ones. Also, Cody Clemens had a Petrie jersey because those two actually go way back. So there were a couple connections specifically. But guys, come on, I know better than to set these guys up with a question who would be the best goaltender. I told them specifically they could not pick any of their catchers.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Be too easy.
That's good reporting on your part. Yeah, that's a good idea. Any answer surprise you, Audra? You also cover the Wild. Any answer down there that surprised you?
You know, a couple people said they think that Bailey Ober would be the best goaltender because he's tall and he's big, which I agree with. Kind of remind me of Devin Dubnyk. You know, you love to have those 6'5+ guys between the pipes. But then a couple guys said they think that he would be the worst because he's too tall. So it kind of shows you, who knows hockey, who maybe doesn't know hockey. But I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I feel like Austin Martin would be sneaky good, kind of like a Matt Zuccarello. Not the biggest guy, but both have great hands and find a way to constantly contribute. How about Cody Clemens? Kind of like a Ryan Hartman, a scrappy guy. When he gets an opportunity, always takes advantage. Kind of like how when Hartman's up on the top line, he takes advantage. Cody Clemens, big opportunity last year, took advantage. I don't know. What do you think? And then there's the Matt Wallner and Marcus Foligno. They're both called Moose, so it's a perfect comparison. All
right, so we have a couple of Meese or Mooses, whatever we want to say, how we make that word plural. But can I give some love, and Shelty gave a shot at the great Joey Casey, the replay expert extraordinaire. Yes, he and I, we're not the biggest guys in the world, but man, we try. And Audra, are there some goalies that you've met that are not giants that are still pretty good in between the pipes?
Alex Stalock. How about a hometown kid? Yeah, Alex Stalock. It's first that comes to mind. But yeah, there's certainly some.
Yeah, so take that, Shelty. We have feelings too, Derek.
Cheap shot by Shelty.
That was great, Audra. Thank you. Twins in business right now, 2 on. And nobody out, leading by 1 for Keyshaw. He bunts, third base line, rolling, and will turn foul.
Love that. Love that idea from Keyshaw. Just foul. That's what you want if you're a bunter. Fair or foul. Obviously, you like for it to be fair, but perfect spot. Just rolled off the lip. And yeah, trying to get his teammates in the scoring position as well as getting himself from first base. But yeah, I like that idea from him.
Infield hit and scored on Brooks Lee's double in the second. Bebas in at third. Same for Meade off the line at first.
Now punch it by him. about Shelty not wanting to throw any of his players under the bus, so he throws.
Yeah, the replay guy who's really good at his job.
Unbelievable.
Really good at his job. Yeah, he's also not 4 feet, okay?
What, like what 4, what?
No, he's, let's see, on a good day, I'm about 5'7" and change, and I'd say Joe's about 5'6", 5'5".
Like, how tall are jockeys? I'm just thinking about Kentucky Derby.
Now 3-1. Martin walked. I should say Martin singled. Clemens walked. And now 3-1 on Keyshaw. Well, in terms of generating swing and miss, the breaking ball has been the weapon for Cavalli this season. His curveball alone induces a 49% swing and miss rate.
Yeah, if you're Keyshaw, you want to obviously try to do what he did last at bat, put this ball in play, and see if he can get those runners over into scoring position.
To right down the line, slicing near the sidewall, and that ball is out of play.
Or at the very least, try to get Austin Martin to third base in this at bat. That would have been a productive AB if James would have caught that ball and allowing Austin Martin to tag up and get to third base with less than 2 outs.
Nationals have strong arms in both corner outfield spots. Wood especially big arm in right. Lyle a good arm in left. Seventh pitch coming up to Keyshaw. We'll see an eighth.
Saw a better job of the Twins beginning to get Cavalli's pitch count up. Like you said, Clemens with the walk, and then Austin Martin doing what he does, getting on base, and now Keyshaw in the middle of a 7-8 pitch at bat here.
Everything has been away to Keyshaw this at bat. They've yet to come in. They stay away, and it's a foul ball. Two on, nobody out. That breaking ball hung a little bit.
Yeah, almost like he took some velo off of that pitch as well, trying to see if he could throw a little wrinkle, throw something different at Keyshaw, as he's essentially throwing everything at him. And yeah, this is a tough at bat for Keyshaw, because Cavalli, he's tough on righties, and see if he can win the battle here.
Once again, the 3-2 to Keyshaw. There's ball 4. Outstanding plate appearance from Keyshaw as he reaches for the second time tonight, and the bases are loaded, nobody out, and Brooks Lee is coming up here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, exceptional plate appearance at bat from Luke Keyshaw, fouling off some tough pitches, and we were just talking about, you see him fired up with that. That's a productive at bat to keep the inning going, keep the rally going. Talking about him beginning to find his stride, find his swing, and yeah, that's a good sign right there. Those last two, the 2 at bats today, 2-strike approach, and then fouling off tough pitches, and you know, just finding a way to be scrappy and get on base for his teammates.
A 10-pitch plate appearance, and Keyshaw coaxes a walk. And rarely do the Twins have a game where they do not have at least one at bat with the bases loaded. And Brooks Lee is in that spot right now, 429 with runners in scoring position. Already a 2-run double tonight. Grounded to Cavalli. He'll shovel it though across the line. Everybody's safe and a run is in. 3-1 Twins, and still nobody out here in the 4th inning.
Once again, just putting the ball in play. Obviously not the result that Brooks Lee wanted as far as how hard he hit it. But you see, I think Cavalli was definitely thinking about going home, tried to rush the catch, tried to scoop it on the short hop, and yeah, just misplayed that ball. But Twins catch a break.
So now Royce Lewis with nobody out. And this would be an opportune time to snap out of it.
Yeah, surprised at Brooks Lee. I thought that ball might have been a little outside. Let's see here. Or Lewis, I'm sorry.
Oh, 1 to Lewis, and that's inside. The scoring on the Brooks Lee ball. It's a fielder's choice, E1, no RBI. So Martin scores on the error by Cavalli. Smacked in the air to right center field. Wood going back with a play on the warning track right near the wall, makes the catch. Clemens will tag and score to third, holding his Keyshaw. Good swing from Lewis, drives in a run, and the Twins now lead by 3.
Yeah, if you're Royce Lewis, you've been struggling at the plate and things just not going your way. And you're honestly, when you're going through stretches like that, you're just looking for anything to build confidence and to get you going. And, you know, at bats like that where you get the job done, get the runner in from third base, you know, it makes you feel good and, you know, hopes that, you know, you can maybe get something going. You know, I like his approach going to right field as well against Cade Cavalli.
11th RBI for Lewis, and the Twins have scored twice. Still one out. Byron Buxton seeking his first hit with a runner in scoring position all year. Popped up mile high. Ruiz called off by the third baseman, and that is Bibas making the play for out number 2.
This was just a two-seamer that got in on the hands of Buck.
So 2 down, and now Larnach. High contact rate. Already a base hit here tonight. Nationals ballpark here in D.C. on a lovely Tuesday night. Twins have 2 in here in the 4th. Keyshaw at third. Lee at first, now 0-2 on Larnach.
Been 2 nasty knuckle curveballs from Cade Cavalli. That pitch with a ton of depth, a ton of side to side and vertical movement.
Well, good to see that smile from Royce Lewis inside the dugout.
Once again, if Larnach can shorten up and try to put that ball in play.
To right center field in the alley, and that is going to land. It's a base hit for Larnach. 1 run scores. Here comes Brooks Lee heading home, and Larnach 0-2 drives in a pair, and the Twins have a 6-1 lead.
Trevor Larnach maybe setting up Cavalli. You see Cavalli going to the well. Just one too many times with that curveball, got him to swing and miss on the first 2 pitches, and Trevor Larnach doing a good job at making an adjustment and letting that ball just get a little bit deeper and keeping his head down and staying through that baseball. And it's just good 2-strike, good 2-out hitting from Trevor Larnach.
And once James Wood could not cut that ball off, he went for it, whiffed on it. Easy send for Borrego to bring in Brooks Lee all the way from first base, and now Ryan Jeffers bounces it foul. So Keyshaw And Lee scoring on the double from Larnach. Already 2 hits tonight. And the Twins have scored 4 here in the 4th inning. Hopefully not done. Jeffers, the 8th Twin to bat this inning. Mentioned how Washington has really struggled at home. 4-12 entering play tonight, and offensively they're scoring at home just under 5 runs per game, but their pitching numbers really stand out. The team ERA at home is over 5. It's a 5.47 home ERA, 29th in baseball.
Yeah, I don't think their pitching has been great at home or on the road, but you're right. I mean, normally, obviously, the Nationals have a young ball club, but normally you see younger players play better, in the confines of their home ballpark, and yeah, the Nationals just not getting the job done.
Allowing almost Denard 7 runs per game at home. And the Twins have 6 already on Blake Butera's team here, just the 4th inning, as the Nationals have action now in their bullpen. The 1-2 to Jeffers. Do it again. The Twins have done a great job with 2 strikes here tonight, and this is a guy in Cavalli coming off back-to-back 10 strikeout games.
You're right.
And the Twins only 1 strikeout tonight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this inning I think has been set up from the walks from Clemens and Keishel, and we've talked about it over the last few weeks with the Twins just making adjustments, the 2nd, 3rd time around, and look, right now just another foul ball, and they're really making Cavalli work, and then putting him in positions to have to make a pitch and potentially make a mistake. And yeah, the Twins, you got to give them credit tonight. A lot of 2-strike hits, a lot of 7-8 pitch at bats over these last couple of innings.
Good eye there from Jeffers. That's a pitch that many have offered at.
Yep.
Sweeper, righty on right, and a keen eye from Jeffers. 2-2. So Paxton Schultz warming up in the bullpen might be the last man for Cavalli here tonight if Jeffers extends this inning. .33 pitches this inning alone for Cavalli. Payoff coming to Jeffers. And that's outside. Ball 4. No challenge from Ruiz. It's another walk. And Josh Bell will be the 9th Twin to bat. And we'll see. Butera is going to keep Cavalli in this game to see Bell.
I mean, it's wild that he only has 70 pitches, but I remember in the 3rd inning he was only at 25 pitches, and the Twins were making a lot of quick outs and not seemingly quality at bats. But this last inning and a half, the Twins have definitely put pressure on Cavalli, making him work. And so yeah, this is the one thing that I feel like the Twins offense has done consistently. That 2nd, 3rd time around, seems like all of a sudden something clicks, or they pick up on sequence, or I don't know, whether they're talking in the dugout or paying attention in the dugout, watching their teammates at bats. But it's been fun to watch.
See, 36 pitches alone this inning, 36 combined for Cavalli, innings 1, 2, and 3. And now 3-0 on Bell, and it is green light time.
No doubt.
That was one that Ruiz could have challenged. It looked to be in the zone, did not.
Especially with a 5-run lead, yeah.
Let it go. Bell, 31 lifetime homers at this ballpark. And 217 career games. Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, this is the perfect time to take the top off of this game with a big swing from Josh Bell. If he can give one for a ride.
Now Larnach and Jeffers will be off. 2 on, 2 out. The 3-2 pitch, a swing and a miss, and the tag applied by Ruiz ends the inning. But the Twins bat 9 and put up 4. Taj Bradley honoring Brock Faber on the flight. He's 11th.
Our legacy, powered by you.
Trevor Larnach, a single and a 2-run double a moment ago, part of a 4-run fourth, and the Twins have a 5-run lead. Time now for tonight's Fubo stat of the game, and the splitter has been the swing and miss pitch for Bradley this season, 7th highest whiff rate in baseball with that splitter. Hasn't thrown it too much here tonight. He's leaned on his four seam and his cutter so far more than his splitter.
Yeah, I was about to say he really hasn't had to use it a ton. I mean, he used it to C.J. Abrams his last at bat, but aside from that, yeah, he's had a lot of success with that four-seam fastball right there, and then the curveball. That's been his out pitch tonight. He's been doing a good job at locating that one down in the zone, and then that cutter as well. You know, in on those lefties' hands, and so yeah, he still has that in his back pocket as this game goes along.
7 swings and misses so far, 3 with his splitter. And there is whiff number 8, and his curveball comes into play yet again.
Yeah, once again, just Taj using that curveball, and I'm gonna say it for I feel like the 3rd or 4th time, just as far as him using that as his out pitch. And just using that more as a weapon. I just think that pitch is just such a quality pitch, and you know, we've seen him throw it elevate in the strike zone, but also down in the strike zone. And I mean, that ball just has so much movement, so much north-south movement, and just tough for hitters to be able to lay off of.
Yeah, 4 of his 5 strikeouts for Bradley tonight have come with his curveball. 2 balls and no strikes on Nunez, a 9-pitch plate appearance before walking in the 2nd. Taj, high pitch count, innings 1 and 2, then came back with an 8-pitch 1-2-3 third. So 1 away here in the 4th, but now behind Nunez 3-1.
Yeah, for Taj, all the momentum is on the Twins' side right now, and last thing you want to do is, I didn't want to say it.
Walk him?
Yep.
Yeah. Flies out to center, and there were 2 down as Buxton makes the play, and Jose Tena will bat. He's 1 for 1 tonight as we take a look at Taj's night so far.
Once again, look at the movement on this curveball. Morney once again strike the ball, or sometimes ball to strike out of the hand. I think hitters are giving up on it when it's at the top of the strike zone, just like that one right there. And just been an effective pitch for Taj. I said it earlier, he's only thrown that pitch 11 to 12%, and so even as a hitter on the opposing team, you're thinking like that's his last pitch. He's not gonna throw that with 2 strikes, but we've seen him lean heavily on that pitch tonight.
And Roy's taking charge. Good communication there between Lewis and Jeffers, and back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Taj Bradley.
Get tickets at twins.com.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by your local Toyota dealers. Back with Denard Span, Audra Martin, Corey Provis from Washington, D.C. Twins up by 5. Pitching change for the Nationals as Cavalli is out and Paxton Schultz takes over for the Nationals.
Yep, Austin Martin, Cody Clemens, Keishel will be looking to see if they can continue the production we've seen tonight from them, facing Paxton Schultz.
To the hole at short, Abrams throws out Martin.
Yep, Paxton Schultz, a lot of velo. See that cutter and that four-seamer. Throws that pitch 78% of the time, but the pitch to attack is that changeup. Opponent's hitting 667 on that pitch.
He's a guy that provided length for Washington earlier this season. Had a 3-inning appearance here against the Giants on April 17th, but his last 3 has gone exactly 1 inning. Now, the Nationals do have some length in their bullpen, and some of that is by design. Washington has used an opener in front of guys like Miles Michaelis, even Zach Littell here lately. Michaelis right now set to start the game tomorrow night, but we could find out post-game that Michaelis might be more of the bulk arm for the Nationals for Game 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the Nationals have been trying to get creative with some of their starting pitchers that have struggled this year, right? And so, you know, getting that opener in there to start things off, and maybe having that starter that's struggling only face the opposing lineup, you know, 1.5 to 2 times, and you know, having some success. I think that's what they've been leaning on, but they have been taxing their bullpen in the midst of doing that as well.
Cody Clemens has been on twice, and he has scored 2 of the 6 Twins runs. No swing. Good call.
It's definitely the toughest call in all of baseball, I think.
Agreed. To first, and Meade to the bag. And there are 2 down.
Hi, this is Trevor Plouffe for Securian Financial. Securian Financial insurance and retirement solutions to prepare, protect, and secure a confidential future. Learn more at securian.com.
Nice to hear that voice. Our buddy Trevor Plouffe tuning in on the West Coast here tonight.
Miss you, Trev.
Now Keyshaw, he had a pivotal plate appearance last inning. A 10-pitch plate appearance before walking and eventually scoring. What turned out to be a 40-pitch inning for the starter, Cade Cavalli. No play for Meade, and 1-1 on Keyshaw. And everything, all 10 pitches of that plate appearance, everything was away.
Yeah.
And he was aware of it, aware of where the game plan was, and did not expand. Fought off some pitches as well, a few foul balls.
Yep. Yeah, just a beautiful 2-strike approach. Letting that ball travel a little bit deeper, making sure that, you know, he was not out in front, and just keeping himself alive, and, you know, extending the inning, you know, with that walk. And just, you know, just pass the baton. That's winning baseball. And then, for me, it looks like he's getting more and more confident as each one of these plate appearances go by. You know, it started with the last series against the Blue Jays, and tonight, you know, I don't know. There's something about that last take to me. It just. Look at him. I mean, he's spitting on nasty pitches that Schultz as well as Cavalli, you know, were trying to execute. And, you know, a couple weeks ago we were seeing him expand the strike zone and going after balls, you know, off the plate like that. And so very, very, very encouraging to see.
So he's 3 times here tonight, a single, 2 walks. He has scored twice. See if the running game's in play. Stays put for Brooks Lee, who takes high. I like the running game here. 2 outs, good speed at first base. Keyshaw, 7 for 7, stealing a base this season.
No question, especially with a 5-run lead. But, you know, I think the stolen base is still, you know, within reason. You know, we're in the 5th inning here, and yeah, you got one of your better athletes and base stealers on base, especially with 2 outs. See if you can get a little 2-out thunder if you're the Twins by getting him in scoring position.
See Grady Sizemore, first base coach, in the ear of Keyshaw.
Probably tell him, hey, if you see something, go for it.
Starts and stops. Almost a pitch out there, a strike.
He might wait to 2 strikes.
Lee 1 for 2. Another start-stop.
Thought that was a good pitch to go on. Schultz gave him a pretty high leg kick. Sometimes as base stealers, you just have that time clock in your head as far as whether you think it's a good jump or not. And if you have to second guess it, it's just best to just shut it down. It's not worth trying to extend yourself and possibly getting thrown out at second base. You saw right there that next pitch, that secondarily, I wonder if he's just shutting it down for right now. Maybe he's not seeing something, he's not confident.
Did you like running 2-2 with 2 outs, knowing that, hey, if it's 3-2, you're going anyway?
Yes. Yeah. This is a off-speed count, breaking ball count. You hope that he does just that.
Takes off and no throw from Ruiz. It was a ball. And stolen base number 8 for Keyshaw. He's perfect still. 8 for 8.
The catcher is challenged.
And Ruiz has challenged the pitch.
That ball looked like it was down.
ABS challenges are powered by T-Mobile. And the pitch was low. And Ruiz doesn't challenge too often.
Nationals have 1 challenge remaining.
And what he has won 7. He's now lost 7.
Yeah, good time to go. Pretty solid jump. Like I said, 2-2 count. Pitchers are normally trying to throw something at the bottom of the zone, which is a tough pitch for catchers to be able to throw out a base runner, trying to catch and throw.
3-2 popped up to right center, and Young makes the play, and the inning is over. Twins leave 1. Washington will bat bottom 5. Taj Bradley on a roll. He has struck out 5. He's retired 9 straight.
Chili's 3 for me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Taj Bradley, an 8-pitch 1-2-3 third, and a 10-pitch 1-2-3 fourth. And now we'll face hitters 9, 1, and 2 in the 5th. Ruiz, Wood, and Lyle. Another first pitch strike to Keibert Ruiz. He struck out in the 2nd. Up the middle, Keyshaw backhands and makes the play with intent to skip that ball a bit. Little bounce pass, if you will, from Keyshaw on target to Clemens. Good play here from Keyshaw. He's been solid at the plate. Got the tongue wagging here defensively. It's our unreal defensive play of the game.
Yeah, Keyshaw going for player of the game for me at this point, but a good job, really good first step. Did a good job at getting around that ball, putting himself in position to backhand it and make a strong throw to get Ruiz at first base.
Perfect. 0-2.
Perfect pitch. Fastball down and away, right on the black.
James Wood, a fly out and a strikeout tonight, and strikes out again. Look at the confidence with Taj Bradley popping off that mound as he strikes out Wood for the 2nd time tonight. That was a splitter.
Yeah, I told you he had that splitter in his back pocket. First, I mean, that was the best time to go to it. The pitch before that was a fastball in the outside corner. So he showed James Wood some velocity, and then he goes to that splitter, and you better believe Taj is feeling good tonight, doing a fine job.
Buxton giving chase. He will turn, and that's going to hit off the wall from Lyle. Throw comes into second base, not in time. It's a 2-out double from Dalen Lyle. 2nd time he has reached here tonight, and the first national to reach since the 2nd inning.
Just Dalen Lyle being aggressive, realizing that Taj Bradley, he's feeling pretty good throwing the ball, and yeah, not wanting to get himself in a deep count, and got himself a first pitch fastball, and he did not miss it.
Washington in the 2nd inning had runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And up until that Lyle double, did not have a batter reach until now. 98. Moves the feet and the body of Meade.
I love it.
Meade of the starting lineup tonight for Luis Garcia Jr. Dealing with a sore wrist that happened on Friday here against Jacob Mizorowski and Milwaukee. Garcia did speak with reporters in the clubhouse earlier today. It's sore day to day, but unable to play, even swing here tonight. Two and two on a cutter. Well, Denard, you were talking about this earlier, how this ballpark is playing so far this season. This has been a place for an offense to get right. You combine the Nationals and whomever is coming into this ballpark, combining for over 11 runs per game.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to say earlier in the game, just as far as this being a hitter's ballpark. You know, Josh Bell, myself, I loved hitting here. To me, it's a fair ballpark, right? I mean, there's a lot of balls that, you know, you see in the gap that, you know, find a way to get over the fence. 377 in the gaps, not extremely deep.
Line to left center field and a base hit from Meade. That will bring in Lyle. Yeah, it's an RBI single for Meade, his second hit tonight. And now 6-2.
Not a terrible pitch, down in the strike zone. Maybe you can argue you would like to see him throw that one below it. But yeah, just a good piece of hitting from Curtis Meade.
And some power though in C.J. Abrams. 8 home runs as an RBI tonight, 28 knocked in.
Let's see if Taj can kick it into that other gear as I was talking about early. See if he can get himself out of this inning. There you go.
There with some high cheese. Interesting note with Washington getting back to how the offense has been running this season, where Washington has excelled is scoring with 2 outs. 74 2-out runs. One of the most in all of baseball. Came in 5th.
Yeah, I think this is a ball club. I think we spoke about it a little bit earlier as far as their contact rate being among the league leaders, and you know, just doing a good job at 2 outs, 2 strikes, putting pressure on opposing defenses. And we've already seen it tonight with the Twins doing that, giving the Nats a little bit of their own medicine. Just a firm believer, you put the ball in play, you give yourself a chance.
Behind 3-1.
Pitch.
Strike 2.
It's a really good pitch.
Nationals have 1 challenge remaining. And a perfect pitch.
This might be a good time to go to that split finger.
Clemens now playing behind Meade at first base. Three and 2 on Abrams. Hey, he struck him out swinging. A splitter down and away, and Abrams could not hold back. And Bradley strikes out his second National this inning, and now 7 so far here tonight. Washington scores 1. They leave 1. 2 more punches
at twins.com.
Royce Lewis Royce, who will lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning, has always been exceptional when it comes to interacting with fans, and last Wednesday was proof of that. Royce was signing autographs at Fan HQ in Minnetonka when he noticed a young fan in a wheelchair who kept getting cut in front of in line. Well, Royce wasn't okay with that, so he told the fan, whose name is Finn, to hang back after the event because he had something for him. Well, Royce spent some time talking with Finn and his dad, and then took the Jordans off his own feet, signed them, and gave them to Finn, not even thinking twice about having to walk to his car and drive home in socks. Now, guys, the only reason I even found out about this was because another fan named Jake happened to see the whole thing and sent me a message saying it was easily the coolest thing he's ever seen and wanted other fans to know how phenomenal of a human Royce Lewis really is. Guys, it's no surprise to hear Royce doing something like that. He's always willing to go above and beyond for his fans.
That it is, Audra, and that's a great moment to capture. And to this day, one of the most magnanimous gestures I've ever seen an athlete take on is what Royce has done each of the last 2 spring trainings, when a young fan will come up and say, hey, Royce, can I have your autograph? But Royce says first to this kid, to any kid, you have to sign my hat. So Royce will sign, but first he says to the kid, here's a pen, here's a Sharpie, whatever, sign my hat, and then I'll sign yours. Then Royce, in spring training, builds up these hats in his locker with all these signatures from countless kids who've asked for his autographs. Yeah. And he's done that now the last couple of years.
To me, I just think that's, I don't know, I just think that's very powerful in so many ways, you know, with him doing that. First, it shows humility on his part, showing the kids or telling the kids, hey, I'm no different than you. That's first and foremost. And then secondly, giving them confidence that, hey, one day you could be a big leaguer and be me as well. And so, I love that. But I want to go back to the people at the freaking mall cutting a kid in the wheelchair. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. But kudos to Royce Lewis for making that kid's day. Sorry, I had to get that off.
No, it's all right. I'm glad you brought it back. Yeah, showing some passion. It's okay. 2 down as Buxton lines out to deep right. Trevor Larnach. Numbers keep climbing. Average, power. A double tonight, drove in 2. Also a single. So 2 up, 2 down from Paxton Schultz here in the 6th inning. Just can't imagine what the kid's face looks like when Royce says to a child, yes, but first sign my hat. He's like, am I hearing that right? You want me to sign your hat?
Yeah.
Just a great idea from Royce, and that's why he is 1 of 1. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. Welcome back to Washington, D.C. Bark at the Park night here at our nation's capital. And the Twins have a 6-2 lead as Taj Bradley's back out for the bottom half of the 6th. Jacob Young 0 for 2 tonight leads off, the Washington center fielder. And down a strike. Tried that breaking ball top of the zone, and that's been an area that the Twins have attacked at a higher frequency this season. Eric Orsi warming up in the bullpen. And keep an eye on that pitch count for Taj. He's coming off 114, a career high 6 days ago. But he's already reached 100 pitches or more 4 times alone this season. And if he hits that number again tonight, it'll be the 5th time for Taj this season. But for the Twins, it would mark the 8th such start as a team of 100 pitches or more. To third, tough play. Lewis will pick, sling it, and good play by Lewis with young speed. Royce had to be perfect, and he was. 1 out.
Really nice play over there at third base by Royce Lewis. Full swing from Jacob Young, and that ball not hit very hard, but you see Royce Lewis efficient first step and knowing that he had to get rid of that ball quick. Jacob Young, a really good athlete, one of the faster runners on this ball club, and just a good sight to see Royce Lewis moving like that.
Second fastest on the tee behind Nasim Nunez. It's a good play there from Lewis.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought that was trouble.
Yeah, coming to the ballpark here tonight, had yet to see the Twins batting order, and I thought there would be a chance that Tristan Gray was going to start at third base. Royce 0 for his last 11, a quiet homestand. Not to mention the splits against Cavalli. Lefties hitting him at a much higher rate than righties. But Shelty went with Royce here tonight. He has an RBI, a good defensive play, and the Twins lead by 4.
Yeah, I think there's no question that it's important for Royce Lewis, to get things going. We've always said it when he's hot and hitting the ball out of the ballpark. This lineup and the energy in the clubhouse is totally different. So
another curveball, another strikeout, 8 and counting here for Taj.
Yeah, that's just filthy right here. Look how much this ball moves out of the hand. It looked like it's going to be probably knee to shin high, and then by the time Jeffers catches it, it's all the way in the dirt.
To the right side, and Keishel gobbles it up, and he throws out. Nunez 3 up, 3 down for Bradley. Through 6, the Twins lead by 4.
At twins.com.
It's time to take a look at our game summary, brought to you by Toyota. Brooks Lee getting the Twins on the board here tonight with a 2-run double in the second, and then would come a big fourth inning. 4 runs on the board thanks in part to Trevor Larnach with a big 2-run double. And Taj Bradley, who's fired up today, 6 innings of work, allowed 2 earned runs on 4 hits, had a couple of free passes, but finishes the night with 8 strikeouts and some handshakes in the dugout, guys.
Audra, thank you. Yeah, it looks like Taj is done for the evening. Another strong start. And Taj Bradley will finish at 96 pitches. So getting back to that mark about would he reach 100 for the 5th time. The Twins, of course, we have seen that from a few different guys as Andre Gurnier takes over for the Nationals. Now, all of last year, Twin starters hit the 100 pitch mark 12 times. All of last year. And coming into this one tonight, already 7. And Taj was inching closer to the 8th Twins start of 100 pitches or more already, not even 40 games of the season.
Yeah, it's no question that Shelty is, giving these starting pitchers a longer leash, and rightfully so, because I feel like they've earned it. They've done a good job, at being trusted and being efficient and, keeping the Twins in some ball games, right? And obviously, it's well documented the bullpen has struggled a little bit. But, you got to love, if you're Taj and Joe Ryan and Bailey Ober, the confidence in the leash that you're getting, the opportunities that you're getting to get to 100 pitches and sometimes over 100 pitches.
Jeffers to the alley, right center field. Young and Wood come in, and neither can catch it, and it scoots by Wood. And Jeffers never stopped running. He'll stop at second base to lead off the 7th inning. So Young and Wood converging in the alley. Young went after it, missed it, then it got by Wood backing up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously miscommunication out there, but it looked like Jacob Young was running full steam ahead. I thought it looked like James Wood had a beat on the ball, but with the center fielder having priority and Jacob Young running extremely fast and aggressive towards that ball, you saw James Wood check up, and that ball I think was just a little bit further from Jacob Young than he thought. And then also too, he couldn't dive for it because I think James Wood was too close to him as well.
It is a double for Jeffers, first tonight, 3rd this season, 2nd time he's been on. And now Josh Bell 0 for 3 tonight in his return to Nationals Park. It was around this time last year, and Bell got off to a horrible start. He came into 2025, changed up his swing, and it didn't take long for Josh to realize, hey, this ain't working. And completely went back to his old swing, and then end of May into June, the numbers really began to climb. I mean, such a big difference, and there's a true line of demarcation with Bell's 2025 season, how the first, 7-8 weeks looked compared to the final 4 months of the season.
think that's the thing with what you get from a veteran and Josh Bell is that, you know, he knows himself better than anybody. He's been productive in this league for a long time, and you know, even if he does get off to a bad start, you know he's going to make the necessary adjustments, and at the end of the season, more than likely his numbers are going to be pretty similar to what they've been his entire career.
2-2 on Bell, 0 for 3 tonight. Facing Andre Granillo. Whack to right field on a line. That's a base hit. Jeffers around, and he will score. It's an RBI single for Josh Bell. 7-2 Twins here in the 7th.
Yep, Josh Bell just taking advantage of a mistake from Granillo. I think up until this point, Josh Bell has been struggling with picking up spin. Cavalli kind of had his number, and even early in this at bat, you know, I thought Granillo did a good job of keeping that breaking ball down in the strike zone. He just left that one up, and you know, Josh Bell said, "You can't see me," with the RBI single.
Well, John Cena love right there. Also moving the chains. His 18th RBI for Austin Martin. 1 for 3. A single and a run back in the 4th. Line to short, and a leaping catch made by Abrams. 1 down. He's favoring up the middle. Timed his leap perfectly. And 1 away here in the 7th. For Clemens. Now getting back to the idea and the topic about Twin starters and on average throwing more, working deeper into games. When it's all said and done this season, however it ends, it's not like a starter can say to Derek Shelton, "Hey, you never gave me the chance to face that lineup a 3rd time," or, you know, I wanted to stay in the game, but that's not my decision. You hear that often from a player after a game, a pitcher after the game. Derek Shelton is giving his guys a chance. Here, what you do with it is up to you.
Yeah.
Take the ball, go.
I think any competitor, that's all they want is an opportunity. And I think Derek Shelton, year 1, you know, I think he's also trying to learn a lot about his players. And that's on both sides of the ball, pitching, defense, hitting, across the board. He's trying to see who he can count on, you know, for the long haul. And yeah, I guarantee you right now, all of the players, you know, they're big fans of Derek Shelton, because yeah, he is giving them chances, he's giving them opportunities, and you know, he's what you call a player's manager. I think he's done a good job at mixing the lineup in as well too. You know, Tristan Gray, he's gotten opportunities.
Shallow center, and Abrams for out number 2. So 2 down, 1 in. Bell still at first, and Keyshaw is coming up. Well, this season, Byron Buxton became the 14th player ever to reach 10 years as a member of the Twins. And to celebrate, we're offering you 4 tickets for only $25 to come cheer on Buxton and the Twins. So take advantage of this limited time offer right now. Twins.com/tickets. To short, Abrams. He's been busy this half inning. Throws out Keyshaw. Inning over. Twins at 1. We stretch in our nation's capital. The Twins lead 7-2 here in Game 1 of a 3-game series.
Looks like I'll be taking you to work tomorrow.
Now Target Field is going to be shell-shocked on Sunday, May 17th for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Day. Snag the special theme night package and score an exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle jersey. More information can be found twins.com/TMNT. Leonardo Donatello, Raphael, you name it, the whole group.
Eric Orsi coming into the ball game facing
Great segue.
The bottom of this Nationals lineup. When he's on the mound, you know you're going to get a split finger. He likes that four-seamer as well.
To right center field and in the alley, and that will scoot by Austin Martin. And Jose Tena on his way to second base with a leadoff double to begin the Washington seventh. And a 2-hit night for Tena.
I believe this was the splitter from Orsi. Yep, just left it up. Basically left that ball on the tee for Tena.
Third double this season for the Washington DH, and now Keibert Ruiz 0 for 2 tonight. Third straight start for Ruiz. 27 years old. James Wood on deck. Nothing at 2. Struck him out, chased the splitter, buried in the dirt. So 3 pitches from Orsi, and he races Ruiz, who's now 0 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, that was the nastiest pitch of this at bat. He threw the split finger the first pitch of the at bat, but it didn't look like that. And yeah, he just buried that pitch. And yeah, Ruiz, I think out of the hand, obviously didn't pick up spin and just not able to hold up on that swing.
The struggles continue, and now James Wood 0 for 3. Bradley pitched him well tonight. A couple of strikeouts and a fly out to left. The talented James Wood, also in that same Juan Soto package that came back to the Nationals. 6'6", 234 pounds, an all-star last year.
Pretty good haul the Nationals got for Juan Soto. Abrams.
And Mackenzie Gore was in that trade as well. 10 homers or more, 5 stolen bases or more. Wood, Judge, De La Cruz, Walker, and Trout. On a line to left, deep. Larnach will turn, and that's going to be off the top of the wall. Ruiz, after striking out, and now Wood doubles in a run, scoring 10 up, and it's 7-3.
That opposite field power from James Wood. Just does a good job at letting that ball get deep.
I'd ask for the crew chief to challenge this to see if this did leave the yard.
I thought
the call on the field is that the ball is in play. This is a crew chief review for a possible home run.
So this is not a manager's challenge. It is a crew chief review. Boy, it hits that little concrete above the flowers. That's a home run.
Yeah, it bounced off.
Nationals confirmed it was in play.
So off the top of the wall. So again, the Nationals don't lose their challenge. Crew chief review on any possible home run. So at the very top of the wall, top of that padding. He thought it was going in a home run. So good at driving the ball the other way.
Yep, 7 of his 11 home runs are to the opposite field, and Yeah, he's one of the few players that are actually aiming to try to hit that ball the other way. Kind of reminds me of former teammate, Hall of Famer Joe Mauer. That was his approach at the plate, and I think that's one of the reasons why you've seen his walk rate go up as well, letting that ball travel and seeing it longer.
Cody Funderburk warming up in the bullpen as Pete Mackey came out for a visit with Orsi. Dalen Lyle has scored 2 of the 3 Washington runs. A walk scored in the first, doubled scored in the 5th. Pitched inside, and he popped it up to Keyshaw for out number 2. So really got in on Lyle for the second out. And now Curtis Mead, who's had a good night, 2 for 3, a double, and an RBI single.
Yeah, I was going to say a really nice pitch from Orsi. Fastball, really good location, and off the plate. You know, you got Lyle, who has shown earlier tonight to be aggressive, especially on fastballs. And so, yeah, that was definitely a good miss.
Acquired from the White Sox in late March, Curtis Mead. Formerly with the Tampa Bay Rays as well.
Aussie, Australian.
It did miss. Good no challenge there from Jeffers. 2 balls and no strikes. Orsi leans heavily on his splitter. Lefty C.J. Abrams is on deck, and if Mead reaches, likely we'll see Funderburk come in to face Abrams. And Jeffers will challenge. Called ball 4.
Pitch is called a ball. The catcher is challenging.
Mark Wegner, the crew chief. Jeffers has been aggressive. First attempt tonight, and he was right. His 18th win. Now 18 and 11. Is Ryan Jeffers behind the plate.
Overturned. The count is 3-2.
This is a question. I wonder if, like, correct calls for catchers now, does that go into like their analytics or like their value, their wins above replacement, you know, because they're essentially bringing value and helping the ball club, whether it's a strikeout or extending, you know, the bat or something like that.
What's fun about, you know, what you can look at and study with ABS, and there's all sorts of fun tools to see, okay, well, how does that connect with gaining runs for your team? Flipping ABS balls into strikes and strikeouts. That's where Jeffers has been really good. Back to Orsi. Underhand toss, and the inning ends, and the Nationals settle for 1. They leave Wood at second base. Through 7 in our nation's capital. And speaking of the capital, there it is.
For tickets at twins.com.
Welcome back to Nationals Park. Let's take a look around the baseball landscape. Tarek Skubal, big story, will have elbow surgery tomorrow to remove some loose bodies in his left elbow. No timetable yet on when he will be back. Munetaka Murakami, Twins haven't seen the White Sox yet, but this guy's putting on a show. It seems like every night, 14 home runs, and the Cubs are red hot. Michael Conforto walked off former Twin Emilio Pagan last night. And the Cubs have won 12 straight at home, are trailing right now at home to Cincinnati, bottom 5. Here the Twins have a 7-3 lead, top 8. Brooks Lee, another good night. 2-run double, a fielder's choice, and a run scored. Granillo back out. Rolled weakly left side. Bibas on the move and unable to dig it out as Mead. And Lee is safe. That's the strength of Brooks Lee. He just makes contact. Low strikeout rate. And I asked him last year about the torpedo bat, and for him, he said it wasn't a good fit for me because I do make contact at the end of my bat, and I want to have still some mass on the end of that bat.
Makes sense. That might be the difference of him muscling a ball in the outfield. And like you said, just putting the ball in play. I feel like that's the second time he's done that tonight. And oh, look at Brooks Lee being aggressive.
Is that a hit and run? Twins had going right there. Lee on the move.
Might have been.
Stolen base for Brooks Lee is third.
Ought to make him go back.
Let's see, was a hit for Lee, and they are going to send Lee back to first base. Oh, contact there from Lewis. That's the right call.
Backswing interference.
Oh,
Runner goes back to first.
I appreciate Mark Wegner for clarifying that with his microphone, but we had a good look there. You could see the backswing of Lewis did make contact with Ruiz. The right call.
Yep. Right there, yeah, on the backswing. I think Brooks Lee might have been safe either way because he got a tremendous jump.
And Royce will flip his bat, not happy, as he will take his base. So 2 on, nobody out against Granillo here in the 8th inning.
Two-seamer, yeah, just out of the hand, straight out of hand.
Oh, someone had caught the mask of the umpire, Wegner.
Thankfully, everybody's okay.
So Royce is on, lead to second, Byron Buxton. 0 for 4 tonight, the American League Player of the Week. Third time he has won that honor. As he swings and drives it high and deep to left, down the line, back into the corner, and that is gone. Another home run. This one with a couple of teammates on base, a 3-run shot. It's a Washington, D.C. buck truck sighting. It is 10-3 Twins here in the 8th.
Now that's what I call salvaging your day. 0 for 4. Not really much for him to, I guess, hang his hat on. He's had a tough day at the plate, and you know what? That just takes a lot of mental fortitude to keep your head in the game and come up for your 5th time and still be able to have a productive at bat. And yeah, I don't know. To me, that I love to see that right there. Guys keeping their head in the ball game.
His first hit all year with a runner in scoring position, and it's a 3-run homer.
Yeah, just a hanger. That's where Buck, he's not going to miss those. Got that pitch exactly where he likes it out over the plate so he can extend those arms.
Now Lardick smokes one to center, but Young, good route, makes the catch. The warning track for the first out as we go back to Byron's 11th homer this season.
Look at that, short to the ball. Not much of a stride and not much movement, not much head movement. And yeah, he's been on a heater. Talked about the WBC, you know, how that affected him early in the season, but as of late, I've been seeing him, get to that pitch on the inner third. 2 weeks ago, he was getting eaten up with that pitch, and of course, he's still staying disciplined and being able to get to those breaking balls as well. So right now, yeah, he's definitely locked in.
Now we talked about run scoring is up at this ballpark. What, over 11 runs combined per game here at Nationals Park, and so far 13 and counting here tonight.
Maybe a good batter's eye. Maybe that might be it.
I was asking Josh Bell before the game if he went to any go-to flag or any kind of marker in terms of the wind. And I could ask you the same thing all the years you played here, to right down the line, and that's a foul ball. And now we have ways from looking at StatCast, we can judge and really study how the wind is currently impacting the ballpark. But I asked Bell, was there any go-to? He said no, not that he could think of. He thought, though, the Capitol building was kind of your marker. It's blocks away down the left field line, but he felt like the flags, though, they would play true. That if they were blowing out the plaza in left field, then that's the way they were going, and maybe even a bit of an upshoot out to right and would funnel out to left field. What were your impressions of how the wind played here? I don't remember anything being unusual. Like as far as if you saw the flags at the top of the stadium versus the ones that were lower. But I do remember just the ball at certain times of year. Ooh, Jacob Young. Nice play, Jacob Young. Jeffers hit that on the nose, but Jacob Young twisting, turning, and back up against the padding near that 402 side. Great play by Jacob Young for out number 2.
Heck of a play. He did a good job of getting back on that ball and getting his body spun. You see him, he opened up the wrong way, but when you do that, you just got to try to get back as far as you possibly can and then turn your body again to find the baseball. And of course, he's familiar with this ballpark, so he knew that wall was coming up. But I just remember right center it being a jet stream. I don't know if I can't remember if it was certain times of year, but I just remember my former teammate Ryan Zimmerman hitting a lot of opposite field balls over the fence and over that scoreboard in right field.
Speaking of Bell, here he is. The Twins have hit Granillo hard this inning, but there is out number 3, and the Twins add 3 more. Well, the American League Player of the Week not slowing down anytime soon. A 3-run homer, adding 2 to the lead. Buck Truck in D.C. Twins lead.
It's our legacy, powered by you.
Now Byron Buxton now has 11 home runs over his last 19 games, and this latest swing was a dandy. Had a couple of teammates on base. His home run powered by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. For every Twins homer hit to the Treasure Island home run deck, Treasure Island donates $2,500 to the Twins Community Fund in support of the Junior Twins Equipment Kit program. Anthony Banda takes over, and ball 1 to C.J. Abrams. So now Buxton has the most homers starting April 13th than anybody else in the game.
That's what he does. So he catches fire. His home runs come in bunches for Buck. It's been fun to watch, I'll tell you that. See Anthony Banda coming in the ball game like he's been throwing the ball with a little bit more confidence as of late. Coming in to face the lefty C.J. Abrams.
3 balls and no strikes on Abrams. 0 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a stolen base. Three and two.
I'd say it looked like an auto 3-1 take from Abrams. It looked like he was too engaged.
And Banda comes back with 3 straight strikes. And Abrams is out number 1. Let's go back to Sunday and take a look at a big story that took place in St. Paul. The Saints and Walker Jenkins had a big lead against Iowa, but then Jenkins going back made a great play, but then the left shoulder slamming into the wall, and he went down in pain right away. And Jenkins was placed on the injured list with a sprained left shoulder. And Hendry Mendez, whom the Twins acquired from the Phillies in the Harrison Bader trade last year, brought up from Double-A to replace Jenkins on the Saints active roster. So we'll miss Jenkins. Also Emmanuel Rodriguez dealing with an injured thumb. The Saints are playing in Las Vegas, starting a 6-game series in Vegas later on tonight. One and two. As the Nationals Activate their bullpen once again. And Young needs some attention here.
Yeah, he took a funny swing on that sinker. He felt something in his wrist.
Let's go back to the swing here. Denard, good pickup a moment ago.
I'll tell you what, I've broken my hamate bone before, and that kind of reminded me of what I remember I felt on an awkward swing. You're anticipating hitting the baseball, and then when that ball disappears, just that bottom hand rubbing against the handle of the bat.
Young stays in. Banda fires 1-2. Grounded back to the mound. And Banda makes the play on Young. And there are 2 down.
I love that Banda had the sense of humor to talk about him not being a good goalie on that ball that he missed the other day. I know he's had a tough go, but you love to see him, having fun in the clubhouse and, just continuing to try to stay positive.
Jor beat Bibas. 0 for 3 tonight. Nationals third baseman, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Second 3-ball count this inning for Banda. Came back to strike out Abrams. Now 3-1 on Bibas. Really got in on him.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was right above the hands.
I think he was sold out on that 3-1 count. He was swinging no matter what. Look at this 2-seamer. Yeah, that was never a strike. I think he was just trying to see if he can jump a fastball.
Twins are closing in on their second interleague win this season, swept by the Reds. Dropped 2 out of 3 against the Mets and lead big here tonight at Nationals Park. Brooks-Lee. The Twins on top of the second with a 2-out, 2-run double. And the Twins have led ever since. Twins put together a 4-run fourth, and Trevor Larnach had a key swing as well. A 2-run double out to right center.
Seeing production from pretty much everybody up and down the lineup.
Luke Keyshaw, he's had a good game offensively and defensively, makes the play on Bibas. And a 1-2-3-8 from Anthony Banda.
Get tickets at twins.com.
It's time for our Progressive upcoming schedule. Tomorrow night, it's Bailey Ober on the bump for the Twins in Game 2, followed by Simeon Woods Richardson to close out this series on Thursday afternoon. Come Friday, we'll be back in Cleveland for some division action, if you will. First time we're seeing the Cleveland Guardians this season. It's a 3-game set before the Twins come on home to kick off a very nice extended time at Target Field, guys.
Audra, thanks. In that Friday game against the Guardians, that can be seen exclusively on Apple TV. Looks like a Connor Prelup, Tanner Bybee, Game 1 pitching matchup from Cleveland on Friday night. Orlando Rebalta is on to pitch for the Nationals with Martin Clemens and Keyshaw batting here in the 9th inning.
Yep, has a 4-pitch mix, slider, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, changeup. Will throw that 2-seamer just a little bit more to the right as we've seen these last 2 pitches, and to lefties, he likes that slider just a little bit more.
Cuban born, and as you just saw, he throws hard. Had a rough go last year, 22 games, ERA was over 7, ton of walks. 0-2 on Martin. Our progressive wired cam with Austin Martin at the plate, Cody Clemens on deck. Luis sets up, down and away. Off the glove of Rebalta, finds it and throw nearly pulls Mead off the bag. One away here in the Twins' 9th inning. Well, rivalry weekend is right around the corner. The Brewers, as we just saw with the progressive upcoming schedule, will be in town for a 3-game weekend series, May 15th through the 17th. And don't miss the Twins and the Brewers. Get your tickets now at twins.com/tickets. Homestand Marlins, Milwaukee Astros. Starting next week.
It's going to be a hot ticket.
Cody Clemens has been out twice, and he has scored 2 of the 10 Twins runs. That's pulled foul. Twins bullpen, Anthony Bonda had the 8th, and Luis Garcia at the Troy Hawkins doing what he does, fixing the hair.
Oh, that's low. You're not changing up on me, are you?
What's so about with the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. My friends at Hair Restoration Institute of Minnesota. This thing's gonna
got you acting different, huh?
Good, man. You wait. Frost my tips next year. It's gonna be awesome.
Please don't do it.
It's gonna be awesome.
Please.
It's gonna be great. You and I are gonna dye our hair certain colors for certain series. It's gonna be great.
Oh man, I wish the best. I wish you the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought I saw. Yeah, I saw a little something poking out. Yeah.
They're coming. The 2-2. And Clemens stays alive. Another night game tomorrow, day game on Thursday before the Twins head to Cleveland. Hooking foul, Mead over, and no play. We'll hear Derek Shelton's postgame thoughts coming up on Twins postgame, but I think he will cite earlier in this game how the Twins battled so often with 2 strikes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said a little bit ago, I think just production from everybody.
Oh, and that hit Sizemore.
Oh, no.
Grady Sizemore, the coach's box. And Cody Clemens all smiles, and I don't think he's smiling. Nope. Great player. He's like, I got done playing for a reason. Take a look.
Oh. Ooh. Ouch. Leave a mark. Yeah, but just, contributions up and down through the lineup, and I mean, obviously Buxton and Jeffers, they've been swinging a hot bat. Austin Martin's been swinging a hot bat all season long. But when you start getting guys like Keishel and Royce Lewis going and Brooks Lee, I mean, this lineup has a chance, you know, to, I don't know, just put so much pressure on teams and score a ton of runs. And this is an offense that already has been doing a good job. And so, yeah, I think Derek Shelton post-game, he's definitely going to be pleased and talking about that, just how these guys are battling right now. And
there's ball 4. And Clemens.
Another walk.
Another walk. Great plate appearance. And Larnach and company cheering on their teammate, and love to sit down. And now Cody with a hug for Grady.
There goes a
My
smile.
bad.
There goes a smile.
This is great. So he hit him.
Oh!
Ouch.
Yeah, ain't nothing you can do about that one.
But then all is well. Little hug for his first base coach.
I think he just wanted to get down there just to do that, just to say I'm sorry, Grady.
Twins have drawn 5 more walks as a team tonight, now 2-0 on Keishel. But back during the homestand, Justin Morneau had a really good sit-down conversation with hitting coach Keith Beauregard, and among the topics that Morney brought up with Keith was about the walk rate. And the Twins walk rate entering play tonight, 5th highest in all of baseball. And the conversation shifted to what are some indicators that is not a fad, that will maintain. And what Keith referenced, and he's right, is that this team isn't chasing. It'd be one thing if you're drawing walks and your chase rate is high, because eventually that's going to lead to not walking as much and strikeouts. And the Twins, you know, they have a higher strikeout rate. They're, you know, the 22nd in baseball as an offense and strikeout rate. So there is a strikeout element, but they're seeing a ton of pitches.
Yeah.
And they're not chasing too much. And we saw Keishel. This was a pivotal plate appearance back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and I think it just comes down to, you know, collectively as a hitting group, as a ball club, you know, this team, you know, doing their homework and having a strategic game plan. Every day they have hitters meetings, and I've been a part of those hitters meetings where, you know, guys are talking about, you know, the different spins that pitchers have and different tendencies. And so, you're seeing these guys, you know, put in the work, you know, going into the game, having a really good idea of what the opposing pitcher that they're facing that day has to offer. And, you know, they're going in there, they're implementing, you know, just a really good job, really good game plan. But I think it starts with, once again, being committed to the process of coming to the ballpark and, you know, just staying consistent with, you know, the scouting reports and the communication between players as well as, you know, with the hitting coaches.
The Twins entering play tonight, wondering about the chase rate. 8th lowest chase rate of any team in the game. And that coincides with where they're at almost in terms of swing rate. Like the 9th lowest swing rate, so they're just not expanding too often. Collectively.
I mean, you look at, you know, their lineup, they don't really have many swing and miss guys. I mean, Lee is a big contact guy. Keishel's a contact guy. Clemens has power, but he makes good contact. Martin makes good contact. You could say Josh Bell and maybe Buxton, you know, they are swing and miss guys. But Jeffers, we talked about his 2-strike approach. Brooks Lee right there with a 2-strike approach, and obviously Trevor Larnach as well. So
another double for Brooks Lee that brings in Cody Clemens and moves Keishel to 3rd. And the Twins now lead by 8 on the 3rd RBI tonight for Lee, his 3rd hit, 2nd double.
I mean, this is just good hitting approaches and good just game plans. 2 strikes, we've seen it a few times tonight. The Twins shortening up their swings, letting that ball get deep and just punching it the other way. That's playing baseball. That's not going up there trying to lead the league in home runs. Like, no, that's playing the game.
There's Royce 2nd and 3rd, and Rebalta misses inside ball 1. To your point about Byron Buxton, his strikeout rate 25%. League average around 22%. Yes, he's above that. But for Byron right now, if the season ended, it would be his lowest strikeout rate since 2021.
Yeah. I mean, that to me, that tells the picture of the entire ball club, top to bottom. Like, you don't see many strikeouts, and for a guy that traditionally, like you said, this would be his best. Like that I think that's not by coincidence. It's a beautiful thing too when, you know, an entire ball club can buy in on a philosophy, and everybody's on board, and you don't have, you know, one or two guys trying to be heroes and trying to do their own thing. To me, it's just sustainable winning baseball. Because whether you're hot at the plate or not, or as a ball club, like when you're having, you know, 5 or 6 walks a game and there's constantly guys on base, you don't need many hits to break the game open.
Lewis strikes out, so 2 down here in the 9th, and here comes Byron Buxton. He was 0 for 4 until the 8th inning. Breaking ball up, and the buck truck demolished it. 3-run homer.
Beautiful. Beautiful swing. He went from tossing and turning tonight in bed to now going to bed with a, oh, if he gets hit by her, he might not have a good night, but being able to go to sleep tonight with a smile on his face.
41-degree launch angle. Majestic. On a slider, Byron, good breaking ball hitter, and as we saw, if he gets those arms extended, it's going to carry. That's why he's been pitched in so often here lately.
But I saw last homestand, he got to a few pitches up and in. I forgot who was pitching in the Toronto series, but it was a fastball up and in that he took over the left field wall as well. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's go time for Byron.
The balls and 2 strikes against Ribalta. 30-pitch inning for the Nationals reliever. 2 on, 2 out. Keyshaw at third, Lee at second. Twins have 11 runs on 10 hits. Twins now with 41 home runs as a team, came in tied for 10th most in all of baseball. Popped up out to shallow center, and Nunez makes the play. Inning over. Twins add 1. Brooks lead. 3 hits. He's knocked in 3. Home 9th.
Powered by you.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and the descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
Honest Abe. Nice touch there from Illinois native, producer Rick Palermo. Luis Garcia takes over for the Twins here, bottom 9, as the Twins have an 11-3 lead, and the lower third coming up for the Nationals.
Luis Garcia making his 10th appearance. See if he can regain some confidence. Had a tough last outing.
No balls and 2 strikes. Stay tuned for Twins postgame coming up. We'll recap this one here tonight. Audra will be joined by Trevor Larnach. We'll hear from Derek Shelton and get you set for Game 2 tomorrow night. Miles Michaelis, for now, will start that game for Washington. The Nationals perhaps will announce that an opener will go in front of Michaelis. On the mound for the Twins will be the bearded nightmare. And he is on a roll. Pitching so well last 4 starts. ERA in the mid-3s. Ober and Michaelis here tomorrow night. John Bailey Ober. My doppelganger.
How so? With the hair?
Everything.
In about a few months?
I get called Bailey all the time walking around town. Height, everything. The short and speared by Brooks Lee. Defense improving day by day from this guy at short.
Yeah, just a fine play, really good first step, and I mean a lot of good things to like from the middle infield today. Keishel's made some nice plays, and Brooks Lee as well over at shortstop. It's been an all-around game for Brooks Lee.
Jose Tena has 2 of the 6 Washington hits. Taj Bradley in line for the win. He was magnificent. His 4th win coming up. ERA still in the 2s. Struck out 8, 6 innings, allowing 2 runs. And the Twins put up a crooked number against a red-hot pitcher in Cade Cavalli, who came in back-to-back 10 strikeout games.
Yep.
He lasted just 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, 3 earned, only struck out 2 tonight.
Yep.
More walks than strikeouts.
Yeah, but those first 2 innings, it looked as if he was going to cruise and get to at least 6 innings easily. And the Twins offense flipped that switch and started putting pressure on him.
(3-1).
Just an all-around good ball game tonight for the Twins. Good way to start this road trip, and coming out of a day off, this is the way you want to set the tone. And
the Twins, it's been a while since they won back-to-back games. Have to go back to the Red Sox series. That was during a 4-game winning streak when the Twins won the final 2 in Toronto and the first 2 against the Red Sox. Twins had yet to win back-to-back games until Sunday and now tonight.
Yeah, they've had some heartbreakers. Derek Shelton talked about, them in 1-run ball games, just not being able to find ways to close them out. But he said he was happy with their effort and the way they've been playing hard, and it's a young ball club, and they're still got a ways to go. I don't want to say they have a ways to go, but they're still learning how to compete day in and day out at the big league level. And so yeah, just a lot of the record may not be what you would want as a Twins fan, but just a lot to cheer about.
And they ended there with a game-ending double play, so it's fitting. Back-to-back wins. Sunday ended with a double play, and now they do the same here tonight. And the Twins with an impressive showing in D.C. Brooks Lee, great all-around game. Same for Keyshaw. Taj Bradley, magnificent once again. Byron Buxton, a 3-run homer. 11-3 the final score. We'll take a break, come back. Twins postgame live from D.C. next, right here on Twins TV. Byron Buxton remains red hot. In fact, nobody has hit more home runs in the game since April 13th. His 11th. This one came with a couple of teammates on base. And the Twins win big 11-3 and back-to-back wins for the first time in a couple of weeks.